All right, we are live. So, what's going on, YouTube? What's going on today is another live stream of Mental Health Mondays. And I just want to say, what's going on, guys? I hope you're doing well. I hope your mental health is good, better, or getting better. If it's not, um, this is what this is here for. I'm trying to help spread awareness to mental health and hopefully to some talking points and stuff to try to help people kind of get through whatever they got to get through. So, sorry, move my camera. I don't like the angle it was. There we go. So, again, I'm going to start off by just stating that I am not a licensed professional. This is a grad student who is currently in grad school for his master's in clinical counseling, bringing and shedding light on mental health as a talking point. I think we need to talk more about it in society and with everyone because everyone has mental health. It's not like it's just some tale that people talk about. This is real and it can affect people's lives. So again, I'm not a professional, so take whatever you hear here as a with a grain of salt. Nothing I say is set in stone. Do your own research, but I also do have a decent and profound knowledge in this area since I am getting my master's at it. I've studied it for 4 years in my undergrad, and now I'm getting 3 more years so I can become licensed and eventually have my own practice. Um, I just want to start off today. We are talking about the holiday season, and you may ask, why are we talking about the holiday season? The holiday season kind of talks about joyous and very high spirited energy throughout these holidays. But before I go any further, I did see a text, especially around this time, um, that if you text home HOME to 741 when you are feeling depressed, sad, or going through any kind of emotional crisis, a crisis worker will text you back immediately and have a conversation with you over the phone. So I think this is really important to kind of share with you guys that if you're feeling down or feeling yourself in some kind of crisis where you may possibly be in danger to yourself or others, try maybe doing this. Or if you're just feeling depressed too, maybe this can kind of help. Crisis workers are um, have extensive knowledge when it comes to talking to those who have these strong feelings of depression and anxiety or just feeling sad and very emotional. um, they are just the best at what they do, and I think that it can definitely help people, especially those who may struggle during the holidays. I think it's a good topic to talk around right now, especially the holidays coming up. And where does mental health kind of fall in with that? I think it can be an interesting topic because some people may have great memories of cherished childhood memories where it comes to remembering going down to the living room and finding presents under the tree and everything, and just having just such happy and cherished memories around holiday times. But I think people would tend to forget that some people don't. Some people have trauma and horrific memories when it comes to um, the holidays. And I think that's something important to kind of acknowledge, that people who do have good experiences and experiences and memories to kind of reflect on it and be grateful that you do have these memories, and just be aware too that some people, maybe even your friends that you might not even know, have experienced not so great memories around this time. And when making comments such as "you're not very festive" or "you're just," what was it? I saw something. It was when you don't feel the same levels of enthusiasm as like others. Like if you're not feeling as festive, or you're not really in the holiday spirit, or stop being such a Grinch, you may not know that they may be dreading the time. They may be dreading Christmas coming up. They may be dreading Hanukkah coming up. They may be dreading any other um holiday that's kind of around this time. New Year's maybe even. And we have to be conscious about that. We have to be conscious that other people may not have had the good experiences and positive experience that we have. And we need to, one, be okay with being grateful that we have, but also knowing that our biases can't reflect towards others, because if someone's already down and anxious or depressed that Christmas time is coming up because they only have negative thoughts surrounding the holiday, you're going to just contribute to it, unfortunately, and it's just not going to benefit them, and in return it could damage the relationship that you have with your friend or family member or colleague or anything. Just kind of being conscious and aware that others have not had the same experiences you do when it comes to the holiday season. um but what can you do if you were feeling depressed, if you're feeling low and you're not really feeling enthusiastic about the upcoming holidays? What can you do to kind of help mitigate those feelings, or help mitigate that anxiety that kind of comes along with maybe these reoccurring memories that aren't too fond of, or experiences negative kind of, or create negative experiences for you kind of coming up? um A good one is to recognize that you don't need to force yourself to be happy. You don't owe it to anyone to be happy during these times, because you may have gone through trauma or something similar, or something along the lines of trauma, or just negative experiences overall when it comes to holidays. You don't owe anyone to pretend or force yourself to be happy. Like, it's good to acknowledge that your feelings aren't joyful. That's part one. I mean, we've talked about self reflection and self awareness in past mental health Mondays, and I think that this is an important one. That if you're not feeling it, maybe kind of explore the reasons why you may not be feeling. And if you know, that's already a first step in kind of what you can do to help mitigate those feelings and really kind of come to terms. Not come to terms. I don't like that, not come to terms, because you don't need to come to terms too. If you're feeling these emotions, just understand where they're coming from, and understand that it's okay to have these emotions. There's no one there to tell you that you're not allowed to have these emotions, especially during times that may have not been as joyous for you as if they have been for others. Another one is being aware and avoiding any kind of behavior that includes, such as like numbing or avoiding these feelings. We talk about in therapy that suppressing feelings and emotions, they're just not positive, or they just don't end up good in the long run, because eventually you bottle them up so much that they explode, and it kind of hurts the kind of overall outcome of kind of what you may be working towards. And some of these numbing or avoiding feelings can kind of be can be created in behaviors such as substance abuse or drinking alcohol. I know with our generations and society has kind of normalized this drinking during every single holiday, anytime the chance you get, or anytime we are with family. Um, I ask you to please be aware that if you have this feeling of wanting to drink yourself till you're blackout drunk, or abuse substances, any substance, just to where you don't feel anything, just so you can kind of make it through the holidays. If you do, that's your decision, and just be conscious that it can be lead to something worse. Um, and I just don't want it to become something that you may rely on. Just kind of try to self-reflect and try to practice self-awareness when it comes to something like that. I'm not saying you can't enjoy a drink or anything else along those lines. I'm not someone to tell you otherwise, but just being conscious that knowing that the substance abuse or alcohol abuse is occurring because of the behavior of wanting to feel numb or avoiding emotion, that is a dangerous cycle for emotion and your cognitive behavioral um, trifecta. And we talk about CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, like I just mentioned, that it talks about how we think, negative feelings that then instill or make us, not make us, um, promote um, behaviors that we don't really like, or behaviors that don't benefit us. And it creates this just nasty cycle, because then if you do behaviors that make you feel worse, then you're feeling worse, you're thinking worse. How can I? You're not thinking um, you're not thinking positively or how to kind of disrupt this. You're thinking in a very cyclical way, and then it just kind of leads back to that unwanted behavior. Um, so just kind of be awareness that something like this can start and it can lead to addiction. That is something that you should try to be self-aware to. I mean, again, it can happen to anyone, and yeah, just trying to do the best you can. Another thing that you can do during the holidays to kind of get your holiday spirit back, when again you don't owe it to anyone to be any kind of mood, um, is kind of just maybe surrounding yourself with people who might feel the same when it comes to holidays. And some people may not just get excited for Christmas, and that may not be associated with negative thoughts or anything. It's just they just don't really see the reason to feel overjoyed or anything, and just kind of being with people that you can be emotionally open with and vulnerable, and just surrounding yourself with a good support group is such a significant part that we talk about in the mental health field, and it can lead to so many positive outcomes because usually the people you surround yourself with that you really are able to be emotionally open with or vulnerable, or just kind of there's just very promotes a very loving environment. We see so much better outcome with that because it's such a pillar in our mental health and just like our overall kind of journey through life. Just having those people and knowing that like you're loved by friends and maybe family members or maybe just colleagues. Like it could literally be anything. Just knowing that you're loved by a certain friend group or anything, just that can be a huge pillar in growth and just kind of learning to love yourself. And I think that's an um important factor. And I mean, it is, we study that all the time, that having a support group is a huge question we tend to ask clients when we're asking about their mental health and everything. Like, do you have the support group? Who's helping you when in times of need, and what can we do to kind of explore different support groups or different pathways to expand your support groups. And it's just, support group can be anyone or anything, just that kind of like help you. It could be they could be religious leaders in your um or in your town or anything like that. If you are religious, it could be community sponsors or community groups that you may feel that you're a part of or that you are a part of. Any one of these people or groups or activities can be part of your support group. And I think it's important that you kind of focus on that, especially during time if you feel lonely, or if you don't really know how to kind of get, or if you don't really know what to do in um, during these holidays. I mean, it can be kind of scary. It can be kind of anxious provoking, and that's just one way you can kind of um, help mitigate those problems or help mitigate those kind of feelings. Like find people that really enjoy just kind of spending time together and not really focus on the holidays, kind of help get your mind off of it, and really kind of direct your perceptions and ideas surrounding the holiday into a different path. And this can even lead down different pathways, such as creating new memories that kind of not overshadow, but are more important, something that you can hold on to, that are more dearly, and kind of create a positive connotation around the holiday season, and just kind of create that positive atmosphere kind of moving forward, and hopefully leading to uh, more positive uh more positive what can I my mind has been so spacious today. Positive interactions, that's the word I was looking for. And I could remember actions, but I couldn't remember interactions for some reason. Um, but yeah, I mean, they are coming up. We do see mental health getting worse during times because we start seeing things such as financial hardship. Um, we see stress among family dimensions and dynamics because there may be some stress within your family. That's another thing that you may be not prepared for, or you may be getting prepared for. If you feel emotionally drained afterwards, after meeting with your family for holidays, that may be a telltale sign that something needs to be fixed or worked on, or kind of reassessed, maybe in your own way. And I mean, maybe through your relationships, you can kind of benefit your relationships or work towards your relationships with family members or friends or anybody who you may feel kind of disconnected to, or during the holidays. Holidays kind of are leaning more towards presence and kind of just spending unwanted time sometimes. And it's not really focused on kind of just spending time with one another, and really focused on just creating and a loving atmosphere for kind of everyone there. Um, there's such a standard that people are held to when it comes to things like this. Like, you need to kind of put on this mask and kind of just be at the party and pre- pretend like everything's fine, and do the whole, oh, how's college going, or oh, how's work going, or how the kiddos. And it can create this kind of very fic- fictitious, kind of fake atmosphere that, like, oh, it's just kind of jumping through hoops, or going through the motions. And um, sometimes you got to be real and understand that your emotions are valid. And when they come from a place of negativity, or trauma, or just kind of bad environments or interactions that you've had in the past, um, be aware that they're there. And just kind of being aware that they're there is kind of the step in the right direction, because you can't pretend. Well, you can pretend, but we talk about I mean, some negative aspects that can come from that as well. And it's just kind of good to recognize that they're there, that they hold weight. They may be on our shoulders and making us feel a little bit heavier than usual, or they may make us even dread kind of being with our family for the Christmas. And then that may lead to feelings of guilt and sadness. Like, why do I feel guilty that I'm going to meet my family? And why do don't want to do this, or things like that? And kind of just think about it. Like, why am I feeling this way? Like, what has happened that has led me to kind of think this way? And what could I do today to help me feel better about it tomorrow? Or what can I do to emotionally prepare me for this this Christmas weekend? Or what can I do to physically prepare me for m- this weekend? Because I mean, sometimes you got to be ready to talk. You got to be mentally aware, cognitively aware, and be ready to kind of talk to family members and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I mean, we see mental health kind of increase, especially depression and um, anxiety, especially when it comes to like kind of financial hardship. Like I mentioned before, I mean, if you're at the age where you're buying gifts for a lot of people or family members, friends, kind of stuff, like it can weigh up a lot, and these can be hard, and especially on other people who families may not be as financially um I don't know. I'm trying to think of the correct word. Financially, not advocated for. Mm, I cannot think of the word. I'm gonna Google it because I do not know the word, and I want to make sure that that message is clear. Mm, Financially stable, or financially free. Some people and families don't have to worry about that, but some families do. And this stress may be something you never felt before, but other families do. And you have to you don't have to be aware or feel bad for them, but need to be aware that you may have some privileges that other people don't. And if you haven't worried or felt anxious, then I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you that you think, but some people do feel anxious, and kind of asking about, oh, what's the best gift you got, or something like that. It can kind of create a negative experience from the person you may be asking, because maybe they are struggling with money. Again, mental health is such a scary kind of hiding under the bed thing that can happen, especially during um, the holiday seasons. You don't know what people are going through. No one does. We all have our own battles. We all have our own skeletons in our closet, and especially with holidays coming up, my last note is I'm just gonna ask you to kind of be kind and be aware that others may be struggling that you aren't aware of, and maybe if you see a behavior that's not really parallel with what you're used to seeing from a family member or a friend, I'll ask you to reach out. Just really ask them, like, how are you doing? Like, and not that, oh, like, how are you doing? And just like, oh, good, good, me too. All right, see ya. Like, really ask them how they're doing, because your uncle, who may be struggling to give his kids presents, still managed to get everyone else presents, and they may be struggling mentally. I mean, who knows? I mean, your aunt, your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, aunt, uncle, literally anybody. We all, again, we're all going through this journey of life, and we all struggle. Everyone struggles in their own way, some more than others, and it's just an unfortunate thing that we all have to go through, but we do. And I ask that we all just be kind to one another, be prepared to kind of help if possible, but you don't need to as well. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, because taking care of yourself comes over taking care of others. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're then not 100%. So then you're more susceptible to not give others your 100%, or you may be more susceptible to causing more damage than what you actually intended to. So I just want to thank you guys for anybody who may have watched, or if you do watch. And I want to thank you for coming again. I hope your holidays are full of with positive memories this year. And if they're not, um, I reach out to me maybe, and I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to hear anyone out and kind of just hear them out, maybe hear about their story. Everybody has a different story. I have that tatted across my chest. There's more to every story, and I know that to be very, very true for me, from many people in my life. And I just want to let you guys know that you are loved. Your emotions, they're validated. You're allowed to feel how you feel, and no one's allowed to take that away from you. Uh, and if you have no, with holidays coming up, I just ask you to please take care of yourself. If you don't know how to do that, please watch my previous episodes. There are some that may be able to help, and if they're not, and again, if you are feeling um, like a danger to yourself or others, or you have experienced abuse, or you were being abused, please reach out to a hotline of some sort, or reach out to somebody, and because um, you're loved and you deserve to be safe and in a positive environment. So I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys have a good holiday season. um, I will catch you guys next Mental Health Monday. It won't be in here. I am going away because I needed kind of an escape for my mental health. I mean, I struggle with mental health too, and I think it's important to kind of be aware of that. And I know I need to kind of get away for a while. So my girlfriend and I, we are going to just get away for a little bit, and we'll show you and you'll see. So um, yeah. So I will catch you guys next Monday. And thank you for watching. MCG Media is out.